Welcome to another episode of Bravo Charlie's. Just got home from work, just made my grape infusion. I'll put the link to that video right here because I just made that video for you. It's a great summertime drink. A little vodka and grape juice never hurt anybody. What I want to make for a snack tonight before I grill some pork chops later on this evening, I want to make some guacamole. Now guacamole, I have a super simple recipe for you. With all we're going to use are 2 avocados, and you're going to ask me why they're in tin foil, and I'm going to tell you in a second. So we've got 2 avocados. I'm just going to use 1 of these plum tomatoes. I'm going to use a little more than half of this lime. If these avocados were bigger, these are kind of small, they're about baseball size. If they were bigger, more like softball size, then I would probably use 2 tomatoes. But in this case, I'm just going to go with 1. And I'm going to go with about 2/3 of this lime rather than the whole lime. We're going to use about 4 tablespoons of chopped up cilantro. I'm growing this in my herb garden this year, but the herb garden doesn't have enough. There's the oven warming up, and I'll tell you why I'm doing that in a second. I don't have enough cilantro in my herb garden yet, so I did have to grab it at the grocery store. And to taste, salt and pepper. Kosher salt, fresh cracked pepper. So, why do I have avocados wrapped in tin foil? Well, I got them home from the store today. I just went shopping, and this is what they're like. They're bricks. You can't work with an avocado if it's bricks. So, what else is the internet good for? Well, the internet's good for a lot of things. But I just Googled how to ripen or how to soften an avocado. And there's a simple method. You wrap them in aluminum foil, so they're completely sealed. You pop them in an oven at 200 degrees for 10 minutes and they will soften. They will ripen immediately. Because what ripens fruit is the gases that the fruit puts off, like a banana. The reason it turns brown is it puts off those, I think it's called ethyl gases, I forget what the term is. There's a chemical term. And when it puts off those gases, it ripens the fruit. To do it faster, you seal it in tin foil, pop it in the oven. The gases released will soften this within 10 minutes in an oven, and we'll have a ripe avocado to make our guacamole. So let me pop these in the oven real quick without burning my tie, and we'll get everything else ready in the meantime. So what we're going to do is, with this tomato, we are actually going to take the seeds out of it. So I have a little garbage bowl here, and we're going to get all the liquid we need from the lime and the meat of the tomato. We don't need the seeds. We don't need the juice that's inside this tomato. So all you do, cut the top off of it, take a little spoon, loosen up the insides a little bit, and then give it a squeeze, just like that, and all the seeds and loose, the juice and stuff like that will come out from the inside. Now I'm going to use just about as much of this tomato as I can. So there we go. So we'll get this diced up real quick. Small little chunks to mix in with the avocado to make our super simple guacamole. Now I'm even going to take out, because we want everything in this dip, in this guacamole, to be very soft, so I took out, see how this white core is still here? I just took out the core. We don't need it. Throw it away. So just slice this up real quick, and then I'll come back and show you what we're going to do with the cilantro. Okay, so I have all the tomatoes in the bowl, all diced up, and we're going to do about 4 tablespoons of cilantro. It really adds all the flavoring to this. You do get it from the tomato, and you get it from the cilantro. So try and remove any of the stems, much of the stem as you can, and just get most of the leafy section. Cilantro looks like parsley, but it has a very different flavor to it. It smells great in here. As I'm breaking this up, it's releasing all the smells of the cilantro. Just smells terrific. Okay, so I'm just going to chop this up real quick. Chop it up real fine. Just want to run your knife back and forth, pile it back up. It doesn't have to be perfectly even. There can still be chunks of cilantro in here. Big or small, doesn't matter. Okay, that's good enough. Basically just give it a nice rough chop. Now we're going to throw that in the bowl. Try and get it all off my fingers. Now, the lime. What I want to show you on the lime, if you do not have a citrus press, you should get one. And I'll put a link down in the description along with all the ingredients. I'll put a link down in the description. Hang on, I need a little of my grape infusion. I'll put a link down in the description of where to get these citrus presses. What this does, it has little slits back here and then a solid bowl on top. You squeeze it together, pushes out all the citrus juice. Limes don't have seeds in them. However, lemons and oranges do. So when you need to squeeze citrus juice into a recipe, if you use one of these, it traps most of the seeds in this bowl and only squeezes out the juice. Also, if your lime is a little hard, before you cut it to juice it, just roll it out a couple times and that will release the juices in it. I'm going to cut this about 2/3 and 1/3. Pop this in the citrus juicer and watch how this works. Just take your time, keep working it. And all the juice of that lime is released and all you're left with is the skin and the pulp. So let me get this all cleaned up. I'm going to check on the avocados in the oven ripening, and then I'll come back, show you how to peel the avocados, put those in the bowl. We'll get this all mixed up and ready to go. Okay, so we have our cilantro and tomato and lime right there. We're going to get our avocados cut up and put in this bowl. And got a little garbage bowl here. So let's see how this experiment worked. I actually put these back in the oven. I checked them at 10 minutes and they still felt hard. And this one, well, it feels a little spongier inside. So let's see what it's like on the inside. I'm going to leave this other one wrapped just in case I need to pop this back in the oven. So to get the flesh out of an avocado, if you've never done this before, please be careful. This does take a little practice, but you gotta, I think, I could tell by cutting into this, it's still a little hard. So I'm gonna pop this one back in the oven for a couple more minutes. But it's too late on this one, so let's see what we can do here. Let's see if it works. So you're just going to put the knife in and you'll feel the hard seed in the middle. This might be soft enough. And you're going to cut around just like I did once the knife is inserted. Very carefully, without cutting your palm or your fingers, you're going to circle it around the blade like that and then twist it and pop it out. Now this is a little softer inside, but I don't know. It's better. I think the other one, if I leave that in there for a few more minutes, some of the skin from the seed stayed in with the meat part, the flesh part of the avocado. Now, if this is ripe, what should happen, I think it's going to, you just pop the knife into the seed and give it a couple twists, and it should, it's not, oh, there it goes, yeah. Okay, see, it's not completely ripe yet. I think the other one, if we leave it in there for a few more minutes, it'll be better. And then that will pop the seed right out. So you basically pop this down on the seed, scoring it, twist, and then it should come right out. Now, to get the flesh out, the easiest way to do this, so all we're going to do is take a paring knife, without cutting through the skin, but cutting through the flesh, you're going to make cuts lengthwise and then across. Once again, do your best to not cut through the skin. So let me see here. So what you would do normally is just bend it back like this and the chunks would just come out. Now they are coming off the skin a little easier, but I'm going to go ahead and take this all apart, get all the chunks out, get it mashed up, and then we'll mix these up and I'll be right back. So give me a second to work with this avocado here. So we have the avocado. It took some work, but I was able to get it all softened, get it mashed up coarsely. It's coarsely mashed up. It's not super smooth like mashed potatoes, but it's not supposed to be. So I have it all mashed up. Now all we're going to do is put it in with the tomato, cilantro mixture, add a pinch of salt, pinch of salt, pinch of pepper. Set all this aside. I got my scoops right here, and let's just fold all this together. You don't want to stir it and then smash all the tomatoes. You just want to fold it together. So here you have it. Homemade guacamole. Extremely simple. If you happen to buy avocados that aren't ripe enough yet, you know the trick now, to put them in the oven and let them ripen up. But by all means, bring the avocados home and let them sit out for a few days, and then you'll be fine. If you like this content, hit the thumbs up button below. That helps me out a lot. Hit the subscribe button. Come back weekly for new episodes. I'll put down in the description the ingredient list just so you have it. There's also links for Facebook, Pinterest, and Twitter in the description. I will also put some links for Amazon for that citrus press you saw me use. Give those a try. It's a big help in the kitchen to have that. And now let's give this guacamole a try. Oh yeah. Turned out perfect. See you next time. Bravo, Charlies.